Hello, wonderful biology class. In this video, I'll show you how to make the mean metabolism graph, which is the third graph you need for your metabolism lab report. In the last video, I showed you how to calculate the slope and the slope divided by mass for each of these runs of the experiment so that you would have the data you need to make the graph that I'm talking about now. If you recall, for example, in the mouse room section of the graph, we'd already calculated a slope divided by mass of 0.74 and an absolute average deviation of about 0.33. Now I need to grab those two values along with the values for mouse in the fridge and the values for a lizard at the room temperature and lizard in the fridge in order to get them all in one place so I can make the graph. If I were going to do that, for example, I would grab these data and then I would copy them, and then I would I'm going to just do that one more time and make sure I've actually copied them. Okay, then I'm going to move to a new tab, and at that new tab, because I copied a formula and not a value, I would do Control click on my Mac, paste special, click values, and then I would hit OK, and the values would be pasted exactly where I wanted them. However, I'm making them disappear because I already pasted them right here in this little table. You can see mouse room, mouse fridge, lizard room, and lizard fridge, and the mean metabolism values in one row, and the absolute average deviations in another row. So now what I'm going to do is grab the first two rows, that is the labels for the data and the actual means. I'm going to go up to the top of the Excel spreadsheet and click Insert Chart. And I'm going to choose column, what they call a bar graph, and boom, there it is. I have the mean metabolisms already on my graph. Now I'm going to get the absolute average deviations on the graph, as I've showed you before, by clicking on one of the data bars, which selects the series. And then I'm going to go to the upper left, click on Add Chart Element. I'm going to click on Error Bars and go down to More Error Bar Options. I'm going to click on Custom and specify value. And then I'm going to go to the row of absolute average deviations that I've got here, select them once, and I'm going to select them again. I'm going to hit OK, and now I have these absolute average deviation bars on my graph. Now I'm going to take this graph and move it, because I don't like it as a small little graph on my spreadsheet. I want it as a separate chart. So I'm going to name it Mean Metabolism and click OK. Boom. And there I have my graph. Now, I've got to change a couple things. For example, I need to change the title. In this case, I'll say Mean Metabolism of two species at two temperatures. And I'm also going to add axis titles. My primary horizontal title in this case is going to be, well, it's mouse room, mouse fridge, lizard room, lizard fridge, which are the different treatments. So I'm going to say treatment, species, and temperature. And then I'm going to add the vertical, which is the actual metabolism value, which is really average or mean slope divided by mass. Mean slope divided by mass. Okay? And there it is. That is the graph that we want to make. And I will sign off there. Tomorrow I'll make sure you know how to make these graphs, and I'll make sure you see the salient points. You probably have picked them up yourselves, like how big the absolute average deviation is on some of these means, and also how to calculate a t-test. And with that, I'll say good